The world doesn't collapse all at once. It fractures through decisions. Episode 8 of Petals of Reincarnation, titled Savior, is where the story stops pretending to be a simple battle between factions and fully reveals itself as a conflict of ideology, control, and hidden manipulation. At the center of it all, Neumann. John V. Neumann doesn't just make a move. He rewrites the rules of the world. By hacking into global electronic systems, he declares the Great Humanity Project. And in that moment, the scale of the story expands instantly. This is no longer about the forest of the greats versus the sinners. This is about humanity itself. Control over information is control over reality. But what makes this episode even more compelling is that not everyone buys into the narrative being presented. Senba, before disappearing, suggests something critical. That this wasn't entirely Neumann's will. That someone is pulling the strings behind even the so-called genius. And that idea alone reshapes everything we thought we knew. Because if Neumann is a mastermind, then what kind of monster manipulates the mastermind? As the chaos unfolds, the episode splits its focus between global consequences and intimate character moments. Toya, Ashido, and Jubiai Yagyu Senkichi, survivors of the previous conflict, are no longer fighters in this moment. They are witnesses, carriers of truth in a world that is rapidly distorting it. Rescued and treated by Kitazuka and Nankei Sanami of the Special Self-Defense Forces, they are brought into a space that feels safe, but isn't, because information here is controlled, filtered, and possibly weaponized. The data left behind by Senba becomes one of the most important elements in the episode. It doesn't just reveal facts, it reveals layers. The truth behind the death of Saya Ojidera Temple, the mechanics of the braces of reincarnation, the concept of mawari-mono, those bound by inherited cycles of reincarnation. These aren't just lore drops. They are warnings. Because what the episode quietly suggests is terrifying. Reincarnation in this world isn't just power. It's a system, a cycle that may not be as natural as it seems. Toya, driven by his need to understand and move forward, tries to cooperate, to analyze the data, to connect the dots, to act. But he's met with resistance. Kitazuka's attitude is cold, distant, almost rejecting. And that distance creates one of the most important emotional beats in the episode. For the first time, Toya isn't just struggling against enemies. He's struggling against isolation. Even among allies, there's a subtle but powerful shift here. Toya begins to realize that knowledge doesn't bring people together. It separates them. Those who know too much become dangerous, and those who seek the truth become threats. This internal conflict builds quietly until the episode reaches its defining moment. A memory. Neumann's words echo back. Do not turn on the power outside the garden. A warning, or a test, and Toya chooses to ignore it. When he turns on his phone, it's not just a physical action. It's symbolic. He's stepping outside the boundaries set for him, choosing awareness over obedience, choosing truth, even if it leads to destruction. This is why the episode is called Savior. Because it forces a question. What does it mean to save the world? Is it controlling it, like Neumann? Protecting it, like the Special Forces? Or exposing the truth, like Toya is beginning to do? And more importantly, can a savior exist in a system that may itself be broken? From a production standpoint, this episode leans heavily on dialogue and exposition. But unlike weaker infodump episodes, this one uses pacing and structure to maintain tension. The direction by Kimitsu Kanazawa keeps scenes tight, while Tatsuhiko Urahata's script ensures that every piece of information feels intentional. Still, it's not without flaws. The episode carries a dense amount of concepts in a short time, and for some viewers, it may feel overwhelming. The transitions between global stakes and personal moments can feel abrupt. But at the same time, that chaos reflects the story itself. A world overloaded with information, truth buried under layers, and characters trying to breathe inside it. By the end of episode 8, nothing is resolved, but everything is exposed. Neumann's vision has begun. Senba's warning lingers. And Toya has taken his first step toward something irreversible. Not as a hero, not yet as a savior, but as someone who chose to see.